Will Jungkook be the center of BTS's comeback? Netflix's ARIRANG trailer sparks golden Maknae dominance theory. When Netflix officially announced the global live broadcast of BTS, the comeback live, ARIRANG, excitement spread across the fandom almost instantly. The special comeback stage, featuring all 7 members of BTS RM, Jin, Suga, J-Hope, Jimin, V, and Jungkook, is scheduled to air live worldwide on the 21st of March 2026. The performance will take place at Gwanghwamun Square, marking the group's first full group stage in nearly 3 years after completing military service. But almost immediately after the teaser dropped, a new question began circulating among fans and pop culture observers alike. Is Jungkook about to become the visual and narrative center of this comeback? The theory didn't emerge from thin air. Instead, it began with careful frame-by-frame analysis of the teaser trailer released by Netflix. Within hours of its upload, fans across social media platforms began pointing out something unusual about the editing patterns. Several of the teaser's most dramatic camera transitions appear to land on Jungkook's silhouette, his gaze, or his movement across the stage. For longtime observers of BTS visual storytelling, these details matter more than casual viewers might realize. In K-pop performance design, camera placement is rarely random. The member who receives the most dynamic transitions, slow motion emphasis, or center framing often signals the narrative anchor of a concept. That doesn't necessarily mean the spotlight excludes others. BTS is known for balanced line distribution, but it can suggest who carries the symbolic weight of the era. And in the case of the ARIRANG teaser, many ARMY believe the visual clues are difficult to ignore. Several shots begin with wide cityscape imagery before tightening dramatically toward a single figure standing under stage lights. In multiple instances, that figure appears to be Jungkook. The camera lingers slightly longer on his expressions than on the surrounding silhouettes, creating what fans describe as a center gravity effect. Even when the edit cuts rapidly between members, the pacing often resets around Jungkook's movements. This pattern sparked a wave of discussion posts and video breakdowns online. Some fans argue that Jungkook's positioning makes sense strategically. Over the past few years, his solo career has reached unprecedented global streaming milestones, including surpassing 10.5 billion streams on Spotify, making him the fastest Asian act to reach the figure. With such a massive international footprint, placing him prominently in a comeback broadcast streamed through Netflix could be a deliberate attempt to attract casual global viewers who already recognize his solo work. Others interpret the teaser from a different perspective. Symbolism. The album title, ARIRANG, references a traditional Korean folk song deeply tied to national identity and emotional storytelling. Fans speculate that the concept might explore themes of return, unity, and cultural heritage. If the comeback narrative centers on transformation after military service, Jungkook, who debuted as the teenage golden Maknae and is now entering his late 20s, could represent the passage from youth to maturity. In other words, his prominence might not simply be about popularity, it could be about narrative resonance. Still, the speculation remains exactly that: speculation. Neither Netflix nor BTS's management has confirmed any specific member being the center of the upcoming comeback stage. Historically, BTS performances have emphasized group synergy rather than strict hierarchy. Even in eras where one member initially appears to dominate teasers, the final choreography and live arrangements often distribute attention across the entire group. Yet the ARIRANG broadcast carries unique stakes. This is not just another music show performance. It is a global live event streamed simultaneously worldwide, potentially drawing millions of viewers through Netflix's platform. The location itself, Gwanghwamun Square in Seoul, adds a layer of symbolic weight. The plaza sits in the heart of the capital, surrounded by historical landmarks and government buildings, a setting that transforms a pop concert into something resembling a cultural moment. For BTS, whose influence extends beyond music into diplomacy and cultural representation, the staging choices for this comeback will inevitably be scrutinized. That scrutiny only fuels fan curiosity about how each member will be presented. Will the opening shot reveal all 7 together? Will the camera slowly build toward the center reveal? Or will the performance intentionally subvert expectations and distribute the spotlight evenly from the start? Some fans even believe the teaser's Jungkook-heavy framing could be a deliberate misdirection, a classic BTS tactic used in previous eras to keep audiences guessing until the full performance unfolds. Whatever the intention, the conversation itself reveals something powerful. Anticipation for BTS's reunion has reached a level where even a few seconds of teaser footage can ignite global debate. And in the center of that debate stands Jungkook. The youngest member who once trained quietly behind older teammates now commands attention across music charts, fashion campaigns, and streaming platforms. If ARIRANG does indeed place him prominently at the center of the stage, it would symbolize the culmination of a journey that began more than a decade ago. But if the teaser turns out to be a clever illusion, then BTS will have accomplished something equally impressive, reminding the world that the group's greatest strength has always been unpredictability. One thing is certain. When the live broadcast begins on March 21, millions of viewers will be watching closely, searching every frame for clues. And somewhere in that sea of anticipation, a single question will echo across the fandom. Is Jungkook about to lead the most anticipated BTS comeback of the decade, or is the real surprise still hidden in plain sight? As the countdown to BTS The Comeback Live, ARIRANG continues, the speculation surrounding Jungkook only seems to grow stronger. What started as a simple teaser breakdown has now evolved into a much larger conversation about the direction of BTS's next era. Across fan communities, media blogs, and music forums, one theory keeps resurfacing. If the ARIRANG comeback truly signals a new chapter for BTS after military service, then Jungkook may represent the emotional center of that transition. Part of the reason this idea resonates with fans is the symbolic arc of Jungkook's career. When BTS debuted in 2013, he was introduced as the youngest member, the Golden Maknae, whose talents ranged from powerful vocals to dynamic stage presence. Over the years, audiences watched him grow from a shy teenager into one of the most recognizable performers in global pop. That transformation alone already carries narrative weight, especially for a comeback that arrives after nearly 3 years without a full group stage. If ARIRANG explores themes of reunion, maturity, and cultural reflection, Jungkook's evolution could mirror the group's own journey. His trajectory from trainee to global superstar reflects the broader rise of BTS from a small agency act into one of the most influential music groups in the world. Another factor fueling the theory is the international platform chosen for the comeback broadcast. By partnering with Netflix for a worldwide live event, BTS is essentially staging their return on one of the largest entertainment stages available today. Millions of subscribers across continents will be able to watch the performance simultaneously, many of whom may not follow K-pop closely but recognize Jungkook through viral hits and global streaming records. From a production standpoint, highlighting the member with the strongest current global streaming presence could be a strategic move. Jungkook's solo work has already broken multiple digital records, and songs like 7 have introduced him to audiences far beyond the traditional K-pop